I think they would do like a water level report. It was really interesting radio on that station. You could figure, but they would have like this. I don't know, something like it's 12:45, and here's your local water level report for July 28th or something. And then it would be some lady that would call in from a department that would measure this stuff, and she would give her water report, and the production guy, he would record it and then produce that, and then it'd be prepped to go out on air later, as like a spot that a DJ would trigger upstairs. And so we would kind of walk through using Audition to do those steps. And so learning that as a program was probably the first one that I had done, which probably goes back to high school or before that when I was doing editing stuff. But Sonar, back to Sonar was some of the stuff that I'd used probably a good bit more for the music, like trying to like track a band or do like multi-tracking projects. But so yeah, that's what I'd used a bit. That's what I'd thrown on this Windows 10 PC to do some audio production stuff for this podcast workflow that I was trying to get into. And it's cool. It works really well. But I stopped using that computer a while ago. I think the Windows 10 computer that I'm talking about had a power supply go bad, which could be replaced pretty easily and is on a to-do list of mine. But since then, I've really just been relying on, kind of like I had mentioned, just recording onto the device, and then using Adobe Audition to do the post-production work on my MacBook, which is, I don't know, it's just a better workflow and stuff for the most part. So I've been kind of sticking with that. But recently, to get to the point, as you are all excited, Logic Pro 10.5 has come out. Now, Logic, as yet to be mentioned in this podcast, Logic Pro is the program that was produced by Apple as their professional digital audio workstation. And so there's GarageBand, which probably a lot of people have some experience with. And GarageBand is sort of the trimmed down, simplified home user version of a program like Logic Pro. And they've done that intentionally. I think it's the same team that generates the two programs. And if you look at them, or you look at their interfaces, and you look at the types of access that you have to things, you really do see a familiar similarity to it, which is cool. So if you've used something like GarageBand in the past for home projects, you won't really have as big of a difficulty moving into a more professional digital audio workstation environment like Logic Pro 10. So I think it was Logic Pro 10, just 10.0. It came out, I don't know, probably like 2013 or so. And I think that was sold for $200. So it was like a purchase price of $199. And then since then, you get the point updates for free, or as included with your original purchase. So just recently, I think there had been like 10.4 before this, and then now they've moved on to 10.5. And 10.5, I think, is probably the biggest, as noted by plenty of news sources, as noted as one of the most significant feature updates that Logic has had probably in years and years. I mean, I think this is the first time that they've gone through and removed and updated some of those legacy items that have been in there since, I don't know, 2003 or 4 or 5. It was just some of these legacy products that were originally put in there, including their interfaces too. It looks like a 2002 interface for like there's these synthesizer interfaces where there's these weird knobs that you have to, these weird just rotating features of the interface. It looks ridiculous. I don't know any other way to explain it, but it's pretty wild for some of the stuff that's just remained in computer systems for a long time. But for 10.5, they try to go through and update a lot of that stuff, and it's